I'm not kidding you. Every book I read this month was amazing. Hey, I'm Shaily and you're watching Eat Breathe Books. Da 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 da. Hey everyone, I hope that you're doing well today / tonight. Okay, I'm here to talk to you about all the books that I finished reading in January. I'm gonna talk about them in the order in which I completed them, but just know that I love them all very much. The two I'm gonna talk about at the end, you might want to stick around. Very good, but I'm not done reading them yet, and today is the second to last day of the month. I might finish one or two of them before the month's over, not sure, but thought I would talk about them in here anyway. Without further ado, let's get started. Oh my gosh. Okay, the first book, I will be honest, I started in December, but I finished in January, and that's Kisses and Croissants by Anne-Sophie Jeanneau. This is a young adult contemporary romance set in Paris, and the protagonist is a ballerina, and she gets into the very prestigious ballet school in Paris. She's there for 6 weeks. Obviously she falls in love. So it is a love story, but there's also a story of friendship. There's also a story of self-growth. I love just getting to kind of explore the city with her, because I've never been to Paris before, so it was just beautiful to hear all the descriptions and everything. That was really nice. To learn more about ballet was super fascinating. The book also surprised me. Like, I don't want to give anything away, but like, this was good. This was entertaining all the way through. Loved reading about the culture, loved the romance, loved everything. This was great. The next book I read and completed in January, I am not surprised at all that I enjoyed, and that's Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. She is an auto-buy author for me, meaning anything she writes, I will read. So The Hate You Give, On the Come Up, and then we have Concrete Rose. So all three of those books that she's published so far are all set in the same world. This one is a prequel to her first book, The Hate You Give, and it's about that protagonist's dad when he was a teenager. So this is a young adult novel, contemporary, and it's about this guy named Mav, or Maverick, and he is in a gang, doesn't really want to be, but he's kind of in there because his dad, who's in prison, told him like, hey, you gotta be in the gang and that's how you'll survive and like protect your mom and everything. So like some people in his life are iffy about him being in it, and there are certain things that his friends try to pressure him into doing that he's not comfortable with, but he feels like he has to do it to provide. It's like a very gray area and like very like kind of difficult for him to manage. There's a lot more to it than that, but like I don't want to give it away. So yeah, it's basically about this guy. It starts when he's 16 and goes through when he's 17, basically having to grow up really quick and like be an adult when he's like still a child himself. As always, I felt that the protagonist's voice was so clear. Like I could like hear the protagonist's voice in my head, like understand a lot about them, who they are, the people in their lives. Every character was like full of like just their own personality and their own voice, and like I just really appreciated that. Like it really felt like she put a lot of thought into this story, like she does in all of them. The next book that I read and completed is a middle grade, and that's Stand Up, Yumi Chung by Jessica Kim. I believe that this is a debut novel, and it's about a girl named Yumi who, it's a summer before 7th grade, and her dream is to be a stand-up comedian, but her family just doesn't approve. Like all they really want her to do is focus on getting a scholarship for her like prestigious private school so she can get good grades, go to a good college, and help out at their restaurant where they serve Korean cuisine. And so she has a lot of responsibility. Her sister, who's in college, is kind of MIA, not really around so much to give her advice like she has in the past, so that's a little sketchy. And she wants to go to, she finds herself literally like at this stand-up comedy camp that's taught by her favorite YouTuber, and so she pretends to be another student who like didn't show up, or another camper, and keeps attending the camp every day, which is like really difficult for her because she struggles a lot with like speaking up for herself and being confident. So I just really loved her journey in this story, seeing her change throughout the story for the better, reading about her dream of being a stand-up comedian, her helping her family out, her sister's story. I mean, there was so much in here. I'm pretty sure I cried at least once. Just really good. Like this is a very solid middle grade that I think anyone of any age would honestly enjoy. I did it. I finally read it. I finally read the book that blew up online. Christina Lauren's Love in Other Words. Contemporary, new adult, dual timeline, meaning part of the book is told when this girl and this guy were like younger, and then through them being teenagers, and then the other timeline is the present day, like 10 or 11 years later after they've reunited, because she like cut off contact with him and they haven't talked in forever. So it goes back and forth between the timelines, tells the story about their love and how they drifted apart and everything. Really beautiful and lyrical and poetic, and I just really enjoyed a lot of it. I really enjoyed getting to read about the characters getting closer and the things that they were going through. I liked a lot of the dialogue. I think Christina and Lauren are really good at writing dialogue that feels very real to the characters and moves the story forward. Really enjoyed this one. It was beautifully written. I definitely want to read more from Christina Lauren, so if anyone's read their other books and has any recommendations for me, let me know. I know a lot of people like their book, Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, so maybe I will read that. But yeah, if you have any recommendations, let me know. Okay, that's it for the books I completed reading, but hold on. Let me tell you what I'm in the middle of. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I was gonna do a whole reading vlog on this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to anymore, but maybe I will. I'm on page 26, so I'm pretty much in the beginning. This is about a young woman who, so this is a new adult. It's about a young woman who went to prison for 4 years, and now she's out, and she wants to like rebuild her life and make it good enough for her daughter, who's been living with, I don't know who she's been living with, but I think a family like adopted her or something. I'm not really sure, but she wants to reunite with her daughter and feel like good enough for her to be like in her life again. And then also this is told in dual POV, so it's also from the point of view of a guy who's a bartender, and he's a bartender at this place that used to be a bookstore that the girl used to really like. So there's, I think, definitely like a lot of like pain that's gonna unfold in the story. A lot of pain, but I think also a lot of love between mother-daughter, which Colleen Hoover always writes chef's kiss so well as love between the love interests. There's a lot going on there. You can also tell the girl is hanging on to the past. She's hanging on to some guy that she keeps writing letters to. We don't really know what happened. We have an idea. Anyway, if you know anything about me, you know I've loved Colleen for years, and so excited that she has a new book out, and I'm just like thrilled to keep reading it, and I love the cover. And then let me tell you about the other book I'm in the middle of. I'm on page, I think 100 something. Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. This is also a Reese's YA book club pick. I also really like the Reese Witherspoon YA book club pick, A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. I feel like I always talk about that on here. I love that book. So I just knew Reese had good taste. So when I saw Reese like this book, Barnes & Noble had this little card hyping it up, and the girl working there said it was really good. And my friend Kayla from Kayla Reads Books on Instagram, great account, you should follow her. They all hyped this book up. I was like, I need it. Plus the fact that at Barnes & Noble, they were comparing this book to The Princess Diaries. So it's like, kind of feels like a Princess Diaries retelling. Let me explain why. Basically, the protagonist finds out that she's a princess of Japan, and she goes to Japan to basically meet her dad, who she's never known. And yeah, so that's basically like the Princess Diaries part, because in that series slash movie series, like the girl finds out that she's a princess. Anyway, and also pretty sure there's gonna be a romance with her bodyguard, because right now they kind of hate each other, but she thinks he's cute. So the bodyguard trope, one of my favorites. If you watched my last video, you know that. Plus a Princess Diaries sort of retelling, and set in Japan, in Tokyo. Like, are you kidding me? Also, I love this cover. I'm having so much fun reading this. So basically my goal right now is to finish reading these two. I still need to read other books I mentioned in my January TBR, like Rachel Lynn Solomon's work and Love Boat Taipei. I definitely want to read too. But basically that's the tea. So that's what I finished reading recently, what I'm currently reading. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you all so much. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment down below letting me know a book that you recently read or are currently reading that you have enjoyed. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.